since having Ava, I feel like I've achieved a lot more.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I've achieved a lot more getting to this point because I've got something or someone to fight for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man that looks after his kids and respects women and
Yeah, man.
that.
I don't know, see, that me there, stuff. Nah,
Jamaican.
I should have taken the time to look after my buds. Should have strapped.
Give me the real, like, what's actually been the negative?
Alright,
Obviously.
how am I going to provide for this child?
For this
You know what
child,
I mean?
yeah.
I didn't have a job. I was in uni.
Also, you said you were in a relationship when man found out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
let's start with that.
Early in the morning,
Alright, boom. What's going on, people? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice. And I'm back with a very exciting video today. A video that I've been waiting a few months to do this one, I can't lie, because we originally had planned this over Christmas, I think, innit? But obviously life happens, things get in the way, and it's all long. But here we are today. I've been waiting for this. I've got a very, very, very special guest. Introduce yourself for the people then today.
Yeah, I'm Chris, aka Shelly Oak.
Jeez.
DJ producer.
AKA Mr. Leeds, you know? Come on now, you feel me?
House music, that's all me. But obviously I can switch it up to that R&B, whatever you want, innit? But
Let the people them know what you do. What you doing now, bro? What you doing?
now, at this moment in time, I'm just working, innit? Full
working,
time, that's
yeah.
what I'm doing at the moment. And just producing, making my creations. Diving down into the house scene. I've got a few tracks out with some labels at the moment.
Jeez.
So yeah, we're just working hard, just taking the time to work on me, really.
Bro, this guy is a cold, very, very, very cold DJ. We go back years, what? So what? He's been
years.
shutting down Leeds for time, absolutely time. He's been one of the best DJs the city has to offer. So make sure you check out the social media. I'm gonna leave it in the description below. But tell the people then, where can they find you on the socials?
Yo, you got two to choose from. You like house music?
Oh,
it's
really,
Shelly
man?
Oak.
Come on now.
And that's spelled SHELLIOAK. Or you just got DJ Christian Smith. Simple. We'll be there.
Is Shelly Oak like the more business one, or is
That's
it
more for the house. If you like house music,
Alright,
come
cool,
to that
cool,
one.
cool.
And anything else, if you just like R&B,
Just good music in
anything,
general.
blood, you know what I mean? It's there.
You know what I'm saying? So, as you can see from the title today, we're going to be talking about life of a single parent. You were raised from a single parent household now. What was your situation?
So obviously, as you know, I'm a twin.
Yes, indeed.
So it was a boy and a girl. So obviously there was my sister. So I think my dad and my mum separated when we were 4. So it was literally just me, my mum and my sister just growing up. My mum used to work nights, so we never used to see her as much, you know. And it was literally just me and my sister just grinding together. Simple as that. So you know, my dad was still active in my life.
Yeah.
So I saw him from time to time. And literally that was it, you know. It was a bit privileged to actually be able to see my father as I was growing up.
Is that a privilege? Or should that just be a given? To be able to see our fathers, really?
It's a bit of both. I don't really know in that situation. I mean, for me, I was able to see him. You know what I mean? For me and my sister, we were both able to see it. That's it, you know. Through life, there was disappointments and things like that.
Of course, there always
is. Said, but family's family at the end of the day. And, you know, depending on what the situation could have been, we may have seen him more if he was in our lives, but at least we got to see him.
That's interesting that you look at it with such a almost quite grateful outlook, to be honest, because me, I was always angry. You know what I'm saying? Coming from like your dad not being around, for example, and coming more from like a single parent household, you know what I'm saying? I used to always be so angry, and I can see how it properly shaped my personality getting older type thing. No, not seeing your dad as much. How do you think that shaped you as a human first, before we even get into the fact that you're a parent yourself?
Well, I mean, when I was growing up, I always said, like, I want to get married first before I have kids, you know? And when I have my kids, I want to always be around. Seeing my dad part-time, you know, it wasn't fun. I always said to myself as I was growing up, you know, I'm always going to be there for my children. But as you know, then things change.
And actually, you know what, that's a perfect segue. Things do change. Obviously, listen to what my bro said. He said that he wanted to get married first before having kids and X, Y, Z. Now, obviously, feel free to speak as freely as you want, innit, about as much detail you want. What what happened in the end? Because let me tell you now, yeah, he ain't married right now. You know what I'm saying? He ain't married, but we've got a beautiful gift, a beautiful life that is with us basically. You know what I'm saying? So how do we get there? You know what I'm saying? With the PG version, bro.
The PG version. You know what? I have to give respect to the mother of my child as well.
Baby mum.
Big up baby mum. So I ain't gonna give too much information.
Yeah, of course. Not the deets and that.
Not the details. All you need to know is I was young, and I should have taken the time to look after my bud. Should have strapped.
Damn it, I should have said.
But you know what it is, things happen for a reason.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying?
Course.
So it was like second year of uni, or I restarted my year to go into music production.
Yeah. Okay.
So you know, found out about my daughter then, and I would say I probably went through my midlife crisis then. You know.
Bro, so tell the people then, how old were you when you found out? Or
24.
24.
24.
Okay. 24. And to be honest with you, a lot of people, as far as finding out, it's not the earliest. It could have been 21. It could have been 20. Things like that. But
you know what it is? 24. The way I was active them days, it could have been way earlier than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're probably grateful. What's this?
Bro, grateful. So when it then became apparent that I have a daughter, you know, it was a scary feeling. I wanted to be a model father. I wanted to be in a relationship and things like that. I wanted to be, you know, and at that time as well, I didn't know what to do at all. You know, I had my friends around me. You know, I was in a relationship by then as well, but obviously, no, it was never like that. I was in a relationship. You know what I mean? We all found out.
We found out together.
We all found out together. So it was like we all took on the responsibilities at the same time. And so from that day, I mean, bro, I've never, until like the past couple of months, you know, that was a low point. Not because I found out about a child in my life. It's because I didn't have anything to help or back it in a sense of, how am I going to provide for this child?
You know what I mean?
I didn't have a job. I was in uni, you know, getting uni loans and things like that. The job I was doing, it wouldn't, you know, suffice in regards to, you know, being able to give money and things like that. You know, there was a lot of people in my life who taught me what to do in that instance. There were people who were helping me to help raise that child. You know what I mean?
Because at the end of the day, there is no blueprint to parenting. No. And obviously, you didn't even have the luxury of a 9-month pre-warning or whatever it was. You literally, it got thrusted upon you.
Yeah.
You're literally learning on the job. I know obviously every parent is learning on the job anyway because it's different, but you're really learning on the job. And obviously we had big up all the man then were around all the time.
Yeah.
It's a shame. We actually wanted to get one of the boys on the video actually and talk about his experience with just helping raise, the daughter with, actually I want to say that, I'm happy to say her name, innit?
No, I
said Ava, I said, scream it loud and proud, man. Beautiful, she's coming up to 6 years old. She grows so fast. It's actually so mad, but listen, so obviously you found out about Ava now. How did it impact your life in terms of journey? What I mean by that is we often have like a set path for ourselves, or we have an expectation we're going to go this way, we're going to go uni, we're going to go DJ abroad or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then something happens and then our plans change, whatever it is, and then we have to take, for example, something as big as that. If I found out uni, I probably wouldn't be doing YouTube thing, because the first thing I'm thinking of is I need money now, so I need to be working in a corporation, I need to do this and this in order to provide now. I can't be provided in 5 years time when I'm a millionaire. I need peas now, do you know what I'm saying? So
definitely.
How did that impact you?
So it impacted me quite a bit. I mean, I dropped out. I mean, a lot of people say you don't have to drop out of uni, but I decided to. You know, I wanted to make proper money this time. You know, and with the people who were around me at the time, or still are, they were there every step of the way. If I needed help at the weekends, because to be honest, I was DJing still, you know, just to get that little extra.
Yeah, little piece on the
side.
You
know, and because of that reason, there was people there to, you know, look after my daughter on the weekends, just for the night, just to watch her sleep and things like that. If I need her if I need her to, you know, go out and just enjoy the day, she's with people that I trust. You know what I mean? But the impact was, I found a job straight away. I hadn't passed my driving test at the time, so went and bossed out the driving test. From there on, bro, it's just everything just started changing. The only thing I was able to hold on to was the music side of things. I was able to still DJ and things like that, which was good. It was a little bit extra coming in. But if we're looking at not only just the work side of things, actually growing up and teaching someone the ways of life, you know, good from bad, what to do, what not to do, you know, I was, like you said, learning myself on the spot. And yes, I wasn't around for the pregnancy or anything to understand what that person may have gone through.
Interesting that you say that.
You know, at the time I was just there thinking like, what am I gonna do? What about me and things like that.
Which is natural when you find out a mad piece of news, to be fair. So definitely don't beat yourself up on that.
No,
one.
True.
You feel me? But it definitely would have rocked you in a mad way. How did it impact your? Again, feel free, you can be as open or as closed off as you want, but how did it impact your relationship with the baby mums when you first found out, when she first told you? What was going on there?
You know what it is? I give Ava's mum her props, man. She's been brilliant from the get-go.
I respect it, bro.
You know, my daughter's always smiling.
Sorry to interrupt you, man. Let me put the lights on it. Yeah. Alright, cool. Sorry guys, we're back. We should sort some lighting out. Where were we? I asked you about your relationship with baby mums, and you were giving her props. Respect it.
Yeah, respect.
Real man. Come on, man.
From the day Ava was around, she's loved that child like no other. Ava's got a sister as well. They both just smile. They're both just happy.
Okay.
You know.
What's the age difference between?
It's just 2 years.
Okay. Young sister.
You know, the relationship was built from the ground up from when we both found out about Ava, basically. So we had to work together to get to where we are today.
Okay.
You know, I got to learn about her, you know, situations, got to know her family. No bad words can be said. As much as Ava's been in my life for nearly 6 years now, I've known her for that amount of time as well. So we just kind of bounce off each other. You know, we've got a great relationship in regards to the kids, and now we're able to build it with each other as well. So, you know, yeah, man, that's it really.
How is it having a child? How has it affected your relationships afterwards? In order to segue into it, I was dating someone last year, very briefly, and she was a single parent as well, like yourself. And it wasn't for very long, but even just interacting with her over voice notes or whatever, and I'd hear the child in the background, for instance, it would be surreal for me because, you know, anytime I see children, I'm around children, it would be Ava or someone else, it'd be part-time, you know what I'm saying? It's only for a weekend or a day or whatever. When I'm hearing this voice note, I'm hearing her say, oh, you know, 2 seconds, I'll be there and I'll read you a bedtime or whatever in a second. I'm like, yo, that's full-time. It's non-stop, it's a full-time job, innit, until they're old enough to fly out the nest, you know what I'm saying? It's different, and I was like, it just made it more real for me. But even when it's not my child, I was just hearing voice notes of the child, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's crazy. So, and when I was younger, I used to say to myself, I'm never gonna play stepdaddy. I ain't ever gonna play stepdaddy. Why am I gonna be coming out here raising next man's kids? But, you know, I was 25 when I met this girl, and I was just like, it doesn't really matter to me. You know, I'm open to meeting anyone, no matter what the circumstances is. So, but obviously there will be some people out there who won't want to play stepmommy or stepdaddy. So how has it affected having a child? How has it affected your relationship?
So yeah.
Obviously, you said you were in a relationship when man found out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So let's start with that.
Yeah, that's a question.
She's thinking, huh? Man's scratching her head like, yo.
So obviously I was in a relationship.
You got a baby that ain't mine.
So obviously in a relationship, we both found out about my daughter. And yeah, it was a difficult time.
Yeah, no doubt.
For, you know, couple of weeks. Couple of months.
A couple of years.
But again, that person, you know, took it on her shoulders and raised my daughter just it was her own as well. So
she did.
Again, I can't say a bad word about that.
You choose your women You know, some of the women that you go for must have a certain trait that you like, that they're just good with. They're just good in terms of.
It just must come with the woman because they don't know.
You just get lucky.
Yeah. But obviously, when I became single, that's when I became weary, innit?
Yeah.
You know, it's not about just dating any woman.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to bring my daughter around multiple females. And then think like,
that's me on that one, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, this one's, you know, this one, and she's there like, oh, where's this one today? Where's this one today? Yeah, I can't be dealing with that,
bro.
It's not a good look for me.
Nah, it's not. It's not
a good look
and
for me.
Kids and babies, their minds are like sponges. You know?
They remember everything.
Bro, I can talk from first-hand experience. If I'm visiting my dad or whatever, I'm visiting ex-girlfriends every single time. I'm seeing now. I'm thinking, well, obviously at the time you're not thinking too much of it, but when on reflection, you're thinking, and this is. My expectations of relationships and love was just ruined after that. Cause I'm thinking, what is it? What does that actually mean when it doesn't make much sense? But either way, so you had a different criteria in it when you're dating because you don't want to be bringing different girls around X, Y, Z. But you know, did it? How do I word this? Did having a child basically scare some girls off essentially? Couple potential targets. Or were people feeling it? Because there's something attractive about a single
that's the
parent.
thing.
Like there's something a little bit like single mothers and you see and single parents. Like it's not often you see a single parent as well. No. And it must be attractive for women to look at you and think, you know what? A man that looks after his kids and respects women and you know all that shit.
Jamaican. You know what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't tell a lot of people about my situation.
Makes sense.
Like the girls.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, firstly, it was none of their business.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
True, see.
And then secondly, if I want them to be involved like that, then I'll mention that I have a daughter. If they're not going to be involved like that, and I've already seen that they're going to be involved, it's just like, alright, cool, say no more, innit? You don't need to know much. I ain't going to be here for long.
Yeah, it's actually true. Okay then. At what period of time, if you're dating someone, seeing someone here, what point would you introduce Ava? Would it be different? Because some girls could just be comfortable in a second, some could be a year. But what would be like a rough guideline? Because that's a big thing to introduce, especially if it's a serious candidate. You know?
Yeah. Mine's about after 6-7 months.
Okay, that's fair.
Honestly,
everyone's
because
different, innit?
when you introduce a child into someone's life, the child's gonna remember you. Regardless. You know what I mean? If I don't want to remember you, that's calm. You know what I mean? I'll get you gone. You know what I mean? But if to be honest, like I want to get to know that person first and really understand what they're about, and then pick their brains about children and things like that. I mean, probably after like 2-3 months. Actually, look, I tell a lie. Maybe after like a couple of weeks, I'll mention that I have a child.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know.
Interesting.
So, and then get an idea of what they think. Some of them are like, oh my gosh, let me see a picture of her.
Yeah.
Things like that. Oh, how old is she? Oh, she's so cute.
Interesting, okay.
You know what I mean? With that being said, it's more like, I get to understand what you want in life, what you want to do. Some, you know, they see, I mean, don't quote me on this, but I believe sometimes when they see a man's got kids, you know, they can have kids too.
Yeah.
You know, that's not it though. You know what I mean? Right now I want to work on relationships and things like that. Work on me and my daughter's relationship and things like that. And then I need to understand with the girl I'm seeing, you then need to understand it's not just me anymore. You know what I mean? It's me and my daughter. You know, I'm always gonna pick my daughter first.
I think realistically, people need to realize that there's a league table when it comes to this. And what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not expectations, but just you're not gonna be priority number one, basically. No. And that's just something that people just got to accept when there's kids in the frame. Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, you are a priority.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're not gonna be on the back.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like, oh wait, you're number 2. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is though, my daughter gives me the call up, I'm there.
Of course.
You know what I mean? That's the beginning and end. If we're gonna go somewhere, I'm going to see and ask my child's mum, you know, can she come with me as well?
It's interesting that you said a couple of weeks before you mentioned Ava, because I'm trying to think. I never actually thought about that. I never thought about the moment that, like, if I'm online dating, if I'm on Hinge or Tinder or whatever, and I've got a kid, is the kid gonna be in my bio? Is it gonna be, you know, at what point do I say, oh, by the way, it's not just me? So a couple of weeks, that's fair. You wouldn't want to wait more than that. So you feel like a month or so, because people can get invested quick, you know.
Yeah, quick.
And then that kind of changes the.
Or you
the
get
narrative.
a shock.
Yeah.
Who's that in the background?
The girl I was talking about earlier in the video, I think she told me, hopefully I'm not wrong, but she said she didn't introduce her ex to her daughter until about a year in. And you know what? Yeah, I do rate that as more speaking from women, from a single mother's point of view. I do rate that because from a single boy's point of view, like a no pet, no kids, you might be able to agree with this as well. Sometimes if you look at single moms, there's like a, I don't know, there's like a stigma around single parents in general, but I feel like single moms get it harsher when we judge single moms quite a lot.
100%.
And we just look, we think, oh yeah, she must have just been a skit or a
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
never the case.
Blah.
It's not always, well, I'll say never, it's not always the case.
Exactly, and that they might be looking for someone, a daddy to come in and just help her up.
Yeah.
And I rate that it's very important who the man that she introduces is, basically. It's not about just replacing the dad or whatever. I can raise my kid. You know what I'm saying? I can raise my kid on my own. I don't need no one else.
I mean, for me, I spoke to Ava's mum first, and I told her about the person I'm seeing now, for instance, and I said, look, I wanted to introduce Ava. How do you feel? Once she's introduced Ava, I want to introduce you to you, and things like that. How do you feel? Because even though Ava is my daughter, I need to respect the other half at the same time as well. I'm not like before. I'm not gonna bring no any gal around Ava and then the family. It has to be someone that I'm gonna see a future with.
How do you do? You mentioned talking to baby moms about little things like I'm seeing someone. When can I introduce X, Y, Z? How do you deal with different parenting styles, different parenting clashes? For example, I keep referencing the same girl, but honestly, I learned so much from her. Just from the short space I was chatting, like just I like to pick up on stuff. And I never considered this yet. She raises her daughter strict, not strict, just like fair, just sensible. Simple things like no sweets in the morning and just normal kind of going to bed at the right time, X, Y, Z. But then the daughter might see the dad now, and then she might get an earful when the daughter comes back and saying, as much as that, daddy lets me do this, I hate you, this and this. And so in the eyes of her own daughter, for at least the first 18 years, she's probably gonna be a villain. You know, them ones there. And I'm sitting here thinking, you actually have to be so strong as a single parent or a single mum or a single dad to take that on the chin, basically, and understand that you might be a villain in your daughter's eyes, for example, but you're sitting here thinking, I'm just trying to do what's right for you, but this idiot of a guy or whatever is raising him in a proper relaxed and not sensible way. So how do you deal with literally two different parenting styles? You wanted to do certain things and
that's why I rate Ava's mum, because we FaceTime when Ava's been bad, we send each other messages to ask each other questions and things like that.
Communication's there.
Bro, communication is key, and we've always communicated, always. So when it comes to discipline and things like that, we're both on the same boat. If Ava's giving her a hard time, she'll FaceTime me and she'll be like, now you can speak to your dad. You know what I mean? I'm the last straw. I've got friends that are like, baby father that ain't shit. Things like that. I've got some friends who baby mother won't let me see my kids and things like that. I am privileged that I've never had to go through that at all. The understanding that we both have together is close. I mean, to be honest, when I first found out about Ava, it was more of, I don't know much about you. Yes, some of our styles are different, but I have to adapt to her styles because I'm from Jamaican households. Discipline ain't easy.
It's very different.
And the life, the world we're living in now, bro, someone talks, that's it, you're gone. Children taken. You know what I mean?
Word.
My mum could my mum used to send me to a wardrobe when I've been bad. and told me to pick a belt.
You got the.
She said pick a belt.
Bro, that's like dig your own grave.
Pick a belt. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't say that to Ava. Firstly, she'd be like, what? You can't do that. I'm fine, it's smart. You know what I mean? But then, it's to adapt and understand the disciplines that Ava's mum does as well. So I have to adapt. I mean, yes, I am seen as a villain sometimes. But then Ava has respect for both of us. And them same teachings that Ava receives from both of us, her sister gets as well. And that's from her mother and the fella as well. So we all learn from each other, bro, and it's just nice. It's easy.
Something just occurred to me though. Something I've never even thought of, even off camera. I ain't even asked you about at all in real life, and I'm glad I thought of it on camera. Yeah. Obviously, going back to what I was saying about different parenting styles and X, Y, Z. Ava's mixed race.
Yeah.
So her mum's white. Now, I'm mixed race, and I know, but I can tell you about all about the experience growing up mixed race or growing up with a white mum and X, Y, Z and identity. Now, identity is a big one, a massive, massive, massive one. Now, I would say, as a suggestion, a piece of advice, be hot on the baby mums in terms of making sure Ava knows exactly where she comes from and things like that.
You don't have to tell me.
Obviously, you know this anyway. You know this.
You know what it is.
I was about to ask you, when it comes to the racing identity and knowing her heritage and things like that.
Bro, you know what it is.
Especially as it's in Leeds as well. Yeah, that's different from the ends.
I wish you could meet Ava's mum.
Alright, cool.
I wish you could meet. Yeah.
One day still.
Yeah, one day. Like she FaceTimes my sister.
Oh, nice.
That's another thing as well. Culture is always spoken highly within the family.
Good.
And Nan, lovely woman, great woman. Again, they're just diversity, equality. It's all there, bro. It's all there. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to Ava's heritage,
she ain't got to go digging for it.
Bro,
she
knows where she comes from.
Good. Good.
She knows exactly where she comes from. And Ava's mum is she's got different heritages of herself as well. So I think she's got a bit of Russian in her, a bit of Irish, English as well. Again, diversity is always going to be within her family, so they all understand. So when it comes to them conversations, it's just easy, bro.
Natural.
It's just natural. It's easy.
You're making this having a kid shit sound easy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I ain't got rent rich yet. Maybe I should pop one out. It's a bit of a joke thing.
Take your time.
I hear you. Now you know what? Yeah. And this is I'm gonna ask you a very real question. I want real and raw answer to be honest. It's not personal. Well, it is personal, of course, but you're not exposing anything. Before we talk about all the positives, because do not get it twisted. This is not having a kid. Of course, you wouldn't change it for the world. You've got a beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
But before we talk about the good things, I want to hear the real, because too many people, especially kids and things like that, when they're young, they think that this having a kid thing's a joke. They think it's they think that I see it in a lot of young girls. They think, the baby daddy's not gonna be around, doesn't matter, I'll do it on my own. They want to prove to the world they can do it, which is fine, I suppose, but this, that and the other. Now, one thing that my baby mums I was dating, this one I'll keep referencing, the one thing that she said that I cannot believe, I respected her so much because it was real. She said, I wouldn't change having my daughter for the world. I wouldn't change it for the world. But if I could have my daughter 7 years later, the same daughter, I would have. And I rated that so much here because more time people don't want to admit that it might have been the wrong time, or they don't want to admit that, as much as I love my daughter, they might feel guilty about saying that it wasn't the right time, or it wasn't. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Give me the real, what's actually been the negative?
Alright.
Obviously. There is no negative. Don't get since we all love Ava, trust me.
Yeah.
But let's get into the real, because it ain't easy. And
I've never thought about life without my daughter.
Okay.
And that's the realist. Since she's come around, I've never, a lot of people have asked me this question before. I literally don't know, bro. I literally don't know what life would have been without her.
Without us, you can't think and compare.
But what I do,
what do you know?
What I do know is, having a child ain't no joke, bro. The younger kids, the younger generation, even the older generation who are still wanting to have kids, there is no rush to having kids.
Yeah.
But when you have a kid, understand you need to teach that child a lot.
Everything.
All
day, every day.
24/7. You need to teach the child everything. And saying that, people be like, it's easy to teach a child. It's not. When they don't listen, when you got to tell them off all the time, when they're running riot in shops and things like that, what do you do?
You can't even do that, man.
Can't do that, you know what I mean? Like, nearly 20 years ago for me, my mum would have clarted me while I was running down Tesco's with a bag of sweets she knows I weren't allowed, When my sister stole some sweets from Boots, my mum caught her and came home to some whooping. You know what I'm saying?
I hear it, brother.
But the realist is like, if a lot of people say, yeah, you know, I want to wait until I've got money and things like that. That is so understandable. I get that. Work hard, do what you need to. Yeah, you're never too late to have a child. You know what I mean? When a child comes though, love your child. Because you can't slip.
Nah.
Your child ain't no game that you play for a couple of months, you get bored, you put it away and you buy a new one.
Exactly.
It's not like that,
Exactly.
I remember that child's gonna be is you. So whatever,
Literally.
whatever you do, whatever you say, in 15 years time, she's gonna do that, he's gonna do the exact same thing.
They're gonna be doing the thing.
And then who's gonna get the blame? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, kids as well, don't rush it. Man, don't rush it. When I was 24, I still felt too young. I felt like, you know, I could go do seasons.
You can do,
I was still in uni and things like that. But since having Ava, I feel like I've achieved a lot more.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I've achieved a lot more getting to this point because I've got something or someone to fight for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To give her the best that she can. I ain't rich.
Yeah, of course not.
You know what I mean? I ain't,
soon come though.
Soon come, 100%.
Though.
But I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, if you're gonna have a child, then make sure that you've thought about, you know, the baby's now here. What's gonna happen in a year? Not in 6 months, year, 2 years. If things don't work out between you and the mother of your child, yeah, then you need to still be relevant. You know, when you get a new girl in your life, remember, you still need to be relevant. When you and that girl have kids, remember, you still have another child. You need to be relevant. You need to be there.
What's been having a child like during coronavirus?
Difficult.
What's been? I'm just thinking because this has been a real unprecedented time for everyone, and where I've been thinking that a lot of kids have been homeschooled, innit, and that. Yeah. So what's that been like?
Difficult. Yeah. So I lost my job in June last year.
God damn.
So for about 5 months, I was there searching for work. You know, obviously
stressful, man.
my partner now was helping me a lot through my time, but you know, she had her own stresses as well. But at the same time, I couldn't go and get Ava. I couldn't go and see her. It was more of FaceTimes all the time, and you know, or as much as I could do. You know, it affected my health, my mental state, because you know, I was worried that, you know, her not seeing me enough, you know, she may feel like something's amiss here. Giving her little hugs and play fighting with her and stuff like that.
That's interesting that you can develop new anxieties and fresh things to be worried about when kids are entered and little things like that.
Yeah.
Like, will she be worried thinking that, I haven't seen daddy in a certain amount of time? Will she be picking up on this thinking what's going on? There's just bare things you have to think about as a parent, man.
I mean, since obviously since the situation occurred at the time, I've had Ava every weekend since she was about, say, a year old. Every weekend, you know, her mum and I came up with a conclusion that, you know, Ava would come around my house every weekend without fail, bro. And then for coronavirus to hit, this was probably the first time in her lifespan that I haven't had her for like nearly 2 months for a weekend. So when she did come that weekend, it was like, I just wanted to do as much as I could with her. You know what I mean?
That's so cute, man.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, she's been homeschooled. So, you know, her mum taught me what I needed to do and, you know, take her through a few things. It's hard. It's hard. We ain't teachers. Big up teachers as well.
Yeah, of course.
Especially, you know, teaching kids.
You need a lot of patience to be doing that, brother. I'm running doing 30 in a class at a time. Like.
My daughter, all she had to do was an hour, bro. It took 3 hours. 3 hours. She's bored. Some of the questions I didn't even know.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like 5-year-old level.
You know what I mean? And they're like, bro, 10s yet? I can teach you about 10s.
10, 20.
She's always going to be in good hands, but, you know, I just want her around.
Yeah.
You know, especially, I mean, I'm privileged. I don't live on my own. You know, I've got my boys with me. But when they find their own places, I'm by myself.
Of course.
There's nothing wrong about being by myself in my house, but you know, my daughter brightens my days.
Would you consider like coming to an arrangement where you can see her more than just a weekend, or is that not feasible at the moment?
It's not feasible at the moment.
It's just not feasible. Okay, fair.
Feasible,
but maybe in the future at some point.
In the future, and that's the great relationship I have with Amy's mum. You know, we will talk about it, sit down, we'll get each other's ideas. You know, and then work around that. You know, so. If I said to her, can I have her 4 days instead of 3 days? I know she'll say yes. You know? And then if later on down the line, she turns around and says, can we go back to 3 days because I want to do this and things like that. Perfect. Chris, you can see her 3 weekends and 1 weekend. Can me and my family, yeah, perfect. You know what I'm saying?
How did you deal with, so I'm just thinking of bare things now. How did you deal with your, obviously when Ava's coming to your life now, you're no longer the priority number one. When kids are around or introduced into the picture, you are no longer the number one priority. It's your kids, isn't it? Oh, that's the way I treat it. As soon as my kids are born in the world, I'm no longer number one. It's literally I have to start putting someone else first. How did you adjust to that? Because I imagine, yeah, a lot of people who weren't ready to have kids, they weren't ready to give that freedom up. You know what I'm saying? So how did you how did you just adjust from thinking that, okay, life is about, as you said, me, I've got all these plans, to life being about Ava basically, and other people, and managing baby mums and all this other stuff?
Well, I jetted off to Croatia.
Oh yeah.
I jetted off to Croatia.
I said, but this, I ain't trying to deal with this.
You know what I mean? I had a holiday booked from time with the man then. I said, I'm going. Like, I'm gone. You know what I mean? And you know what it is? It was easier talking, and I don't want to disrespect, but the situation I was in, I didn't want to tell everyone I knew because it wasn't their business, and because I didn't know, you know, this woman at the time, I didn't want to be I didn't want to paint her in a bad light.
I respect
that.
Yeah.
So I spoke to strangers out in Croatia. You know what I mean? And then, you know, when you speak to strangers, you know, you understand that. Remember, it takes two to tango.
Yeah,
for one.
Of course.
Two, you need to understand it like this. She's put herself in a situation where if things were different 9 months ago, could she really go through that, bro? You know what I mean? You know, could you allow someone whose morals is not abortion to then say to her, you need to have that because you're effing up my life? Bro, I took the dive, and you know, Ava was born. I need to take responsibility as well. You know what I mean? And it was easier to understand that while in Croatia, you know, around people, music and things like that.
Things that you love and that?
Yeah. To then come back and be like, alright, cool, I'm gonna have to step up. Because I don't want to be that father that ain't there or part-time. You know what I mean? If I am part-time, she knows why I'm part-time. And that's because I got to work. But I'll tell her.
Brother, it's funny, you know, because I'm thinking about bare things, talking to you, I'm reflecting on my own life as well. And I'm even just reflecting on, like, I don't reflect on seeing my dad fondly, do you know what I'm saying, in terms of when I was with man. And like, I'm just thinking now, I used to think, oh, was it because it's part-time? And you know, you're only seeing someone, well, you meant to see him once a week, but then it's 2 weeks, and then you don't see him for 2 weeks, you see him every month because he's wherever, X, Y, Z, and shit happens. But I'm just thinking now, if the quality was there in that part-time, like you and Ava, literally exactly like you and Ava, I probably wouldn't, man would have grown up fine, to be honest. I would have just gone, I probably would have gone back to my mum, happy days, but I'd be excited to see my dad and this and this, but it wasn't really that excitement factor there. It was always more just elements of fear and just kind of like misunderstanding and just not really being able to be yourself. And it's interesting. It's actually so interesting. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think that. Actually, no, I'm capping, because some of my best memories with my dad, my best memories are the minimalist. Literally, like sleeping on the floor on a mattress in their flat. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's on the sofa, and I remember those memories fondly, because it was just quality time together, rather than it being about all this other external shit.
Bro,
do you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. There was points where obviously my dad, he works for St Thomas's Hospital in London. You know, he's a biomedical scientist. So there they have dorms, and when he got the job there, he had to stay in the dorms. So you can imagine me and my sister, young buck ages, we're there having to sleep on floor. You know, he's in a shared apartment. You know, we're gonna go use these people's bathrooms and that. You know, people are walking past seeing 2 kids just sitting in the bathroom, like you know, who's kids are these?
Even washing this.
You know what I mean? And it's things like that. You know, like. It's not always about how much money you give to your child. It's not. It literally is just time, you know.
Quality time, fam.
Yeah, and the thing that spoiled that time was promises.
Oh, my days, promises, managing expectations.
Yeah.
That's a perfect segue. That is a perfect segue. You're not gonna do that, are you, with Ava? False promises and all this.
No, I couldn't do that, bro.
Brother.
Imagine just turning around and saying I'll be there, and then I get there late. And then I turned around and I said I'll be here. I ain't even, no, bro, what does that mean?
What that mean shit? Oh.
You know what I mean?
Nothing.
If you're going to promise something, promise it to me. You know
And
what I mean?
deliver.
And deliver.
And
That's it.
And if you don't deliver this for a very specific reason. I even learned about myself last year. Some girl sent me a love language thing. And do you know what your love language is, by the way?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about these things until
Love language.
So like love language is like your what do you call it?
Sounds like witchcraft.
Yeah. Nah, it's literally like so like it categorizes you into like, well, it's 5 categories and damn it, I've got it wrong. But either way, yeah, my top 3 categories or my love language is quality time, physical touch, and words of affirmation. I think something random like that. But the point is, my love language, no matter who it is, friendship, parents, relationship, it's quality. I have to be physically with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Quality time and physical touch, that you have to be around someone to feel like that. And even finding that out and reflecting back to my childhood, it's that simple. Even as a kid, I wanted quality time. And if you don't get it, especially from a parent, you can be, it can just turn you in like mad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you can grow up in 2 ways. Either being exactly like them.
That's the point I was going to make.
Or being nothing like them. You know what I mean? And honestly, for me, I can't put myself in any of those categories because I had to learn. You know, so I learned that I want to be around my daughter 24/7. It was hard the first time because I was like, she's alien to me. I don't know what I want. You know what I mean? You can't just love something straight away when you don't know how you're going to react. I had to build that love.
That's real, fam. That's real.
I looked at her and I was like, right, you're mine. You know what I mean? Like, you look like me, hard and things like that.
How did the love develop? Because as you say, you can't force it, but it's new to you. It's just like, it's just plonked this onto you. Like,
it's just through life lessons and what they do. So like the first time she started walking, I was like, rah.
Proud.
You know what I mean? Proud. Started talking, you know, getting her own type of personality. You know, when her hair started growing, you know, I look after her hair as much as I can.
I saw you, bro.
You know what I mean? You know, like I can't have a in my hair like that.
Should take a
You're mad.
It's still fresh still.
So, you know, it was just things like that. And then, you know, she's got her own little character and it's just amazing, bro.
She's unique, fam. She's original. She's you, but she's still a brand new person.
You know what I mean? And it's the way she sees life as well. Bro, she's just an innocent girl who just loves everyone and everything. You see how she's easy with everyone, you know what I mean?
She makes it easy, bro.
Yeah.
She makes it so easy.
You know what I mean? And she teaches me that I need to do the same thing.
It actually was you in fact. You were like, give Uncle Ken a hug. No questions. I got a hug.
Respect though.
It's
at
just
the same time, it's
simple,
respect though. You know what I mean?
saying?
You need to respect your elders. You need to respect the people that I'm around. And then at the same time, when you go to your mum's house, you respect the people that your mum's going to be around as well. Because you know, whatever you do is shone to everyone else. I don't want my daughter coming up here and, you know, looking at you, swearing, cussing, That's
a reflection on you and Mumsy and the rest.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know where she got that from. I know exactly where she got that
from. Man's effing her blind.
You know what I'm saying? So even though Ava's 5, she understands a lot. She's basically big woman. You know what I mean? So
when you get have the conversation about boyfriends and that then?
Hey, she knows. If she comes here
before 30,
every man is here. Every man is here. The whole squad is here. We are meeting him.
Hundo,
simple,
like bad boys.
Yeah,
literally on his clock.
Yeah. You go to high school and you're like 13 years old. You tell me you got a boyfriend. I'm coming with you to school. All of us are.
Say that. Yeah,
you know we'll all be in that playground. Everyone looking at us like, what's going on?
Looking like certified nonsense. We're just looking at that protection.
You know what I mean? But I just want to make sure that you know, I'm there for it. I've got her back.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know, whatever she goes through, I've got her back.
Talk to me about the best things about having a child, man. Everything you can think of that comes here. Anything good, bro. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a laugh, it's a fart smelling bad. I don't care what it is. Tell me everything good about having a child.
Bro, it's just the humour, their personality. This girl,
energy,
she's a joker. Like, so this girl had me in the car one time, with my partner, and then she was there like, Dad, I really need a wee. And I'm like, we just picked you up from school. Why don't you just go to the toilet there? She was like, Dad, you're gonna have to pull over, or I'm gonna wet the car. I was like, yo.
Excuse me?
And where she lives, yeah, there's like country, it's cunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, so obviously I was like, yo, where we're gonna stop? What we're gonna do? I'm there panicking, I'm there looking left and right, I'm driving, I'm like, alright, cool, I'm gonna pull over. She went, just kidding. Huh? That was it. Bro, I haven't laughed so hard in my life. She just went, just kidding, started shouting it for time. I was like, so you don't need a weed? She goes, no, I was joking.
Yo,
bro, I was like,
kids and their emotional intelligence, they know things, they know how to do things and lie.
Bro, I was like, and then when she said that, I need to I was like, you ain't getting me now. You stay in the car, it's 45-minute drive. You better hold that.
If not, boy,
you know what I mean?
You better soak in that.
But yeah, that's
So
probably the best, man.
Just the humour and that.
Yeah, and then you know what it is? She'll be there watching TV and she'll be like, yo, Dad, I love you so much. I'll be like, oh yeah.
I love you so much.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh.
I can't even get a text back. What the hell? Right.
And obviously, me being strict dad, I'm like, yeah, safe.
Yeah, I know.
Say no more. Yeah, you're cute too.
Hey, done already.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, I hear you. It's just, like, even like Ava, she's just smart, man. She's witty. Like, even yesterday, when I said, show me how much money you got. And she, I'm like, you're so rich. You're rich. And she's like, it's not real money. And I'm like, okay, don't ruin my fun.
I know, like, she started the game,
I'm like, yeah, trust you, I'm playing with you. Alright, cool, like, it's not real money, say that.
Yeah, man.
I hear that, man, but damn, I think that's everything. We touched on quite a few things. You got anything else you want to say to the people then before we wrap up?
No, all I gotta say is, just
stay at school. Wrap up.
You know what I mean? Stay at school for one. Just make sure you understand that whatever you decide in life, that you're always gonna be there for that young one. That's it, man. And then just make them happy. That's it.
Now obviously you painted yourself kind of good in this video, so you might have to just remind the people then what your Instagram is, isn't it? It's gonna come people like, ooh.
Yeah, so if you've forgotten, it's DJ Christian Smith, that's with a K, don't forget. And if you like that house music, it's Shelly Oak, and that's SHELLIOAK.
Thank you for joining me, my bro. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you giving me an insight into this, honestly, because, brother, it's good. It's easy for me looking from the outside, and it's nice and easy for me when I can play with Ava and give it back to you. Because I don't want no kids yet. So thank you for confirming that. I ain't ready yet. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you joining me, bro.
No worries, man.
Make sure you like the video for me. Hit the subscribe button for me. What else is there? Hit the bell to be notified, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Come on,